Hello everyone, it is me, Jen, and welcome back to GenStar. I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying 2020 so far. Just make sure to keep up with your health and be safe. I meant to give you guys this video way sooner since last week. On January 22nd, Netflix released their Winx Club live action adaptation show, Fate the Winx Saga, and we have a video about the trailer, so check that out if you haven't. So let's just get right into this review. One thing I will say is spoiler warning. I'll try my best to not spoil the story too much here so you guys can go watch it, but I might need to in order to prove some points, so you have been warned. This video will be broken into parts, so check the comments or the description for the timestamps. I'll first start off with recapping on what Winx Club was. I will address concerns the trailer had brought for fans, a review of the show, talking about if it's a good adaptation, if it's a good show on its own, what I would have changed, season 2, any questions or theories. With that aside, let's get started. Winx Club is an Italian animated TV show that ran in the early 2000s with 8 seasons. It is a magic show about 6 fairies who attend Alfea to learn about magic and protect the magic dimension. If you want to know more about the show, check out my history of video for the Winx Club. When the trailer for the live action dropped, a lot of fans were furious and confused. Their beloved show was turned into nothing more than a cash grab. Maybe. Based on the trailer, the show was going in a darker direction. Everything was gloomy and not vibrant and bright like the original show, which a lot of people didn't like. I think it was to be expected since whenever old nostalgic content gets an adaptation or reboot, that means they go dark and edgy. For example, Riverdale. The adaptation was modernizing the show and targeting it for those who grew up on the originals who should be in their 20s, as that's the demographic that they are targeting. I mean, I grew up with the show and I am in high school, so I guess I shouldn't be watching this because I'm not the targeted demographic of age that they want, but at the same time they are also targeting this for fans of the show. But if this is something for true fans, would going this route be ideal? Another concern people had, which was really big, was the whitewashing. The Winx Club girls consisted of 6 girls who had real life inspirations for them. For example, Bloom was based off Britney Spears. Musa was based off Lucy Liu. Aisha was based off Beyonce. With their real-life inspiration, you can take that as the ethnicity of the girls. You know, Musa being Asian-coded, Flora's Latina-coded, based off Jennifer Lopez. So how do you think people reacted when they found that all the girls in the Winx Club were white, besides Aisha? People were not happy that some of the POC girls were whitewashed. I couldn't find the ethnicity of the actress who plays Musa. Some say she is white, while others say she is part Asian, but a lot of people are saying that she is white passing, and they could have casted the role to someone who wasn't. Flora was erased from the show and replaced by another Earth Fairy, Terra, and I know that some say since the two are different, they didn't whitewash Flora, but the actress who plays Terra originally got the job as Flora, but somewhere along the lines it was changed to Terra. There are many other concerns, and if you want to know more, go check out our video about the trailer. With that out of the way, let's get started with the show review. So the show takes place in the other world with the girls going to Alfea. The central main character, Bloom, arrives at Alfea, scouted by the head mistress, Mrs. Dowling. after finding out she has powers. Althea is surrounded by a barrier which protects everyone in the inside from creatures called the Burned Ones, who were gone for 16 years but have returned and no one knows why or how. While the adults are trying to handle the situation, each girl kind of has their own storylines as well. With Bloom's new discovered powers, she tries to obtain control but fails. With coming to Althea, Aisha puts into Bloom's head that she is a changeling, and Bloom desperately tries to find information about her real birth parents. Stella is one of the mean girls in the series who is trying to get back together with Sky, who has found interest in Bloom. Stella is the way she is because of the pressure her mom brings on her to be the best fairy in the dimension, as she is the heir to Celeria's throne. Tara doesn't have much going for her, but one thing that shows up a lot for her character is her insecurity with her body and wanting to get close with another character. Musa is another character who doesn't have much going for her. She's just kind of there. Besides her struggle of trying to close herself off from the other girls because of their heightened emotions. She also has a secret relationship with Tara's brother Sam. Aisha doesn't have much going for her too. Her personal storyline is kind of connected with helping Bloom figure out who she is. With the first half of the season, the show was very boring, lackluster. The show was putting its main focus on somewhat fleshing out the characters, and at times they felt like their own individual persons, but at other times they were there in order to help Bloom's story progress. The first half wasn't interesting at all as a whole. The second half was better as the main story started to progress more and the storylines were coming together. We learned more about the Burned Ones, Althea, surrounding places around Althea, and Bloom's life. So, is this a good adaptation? No, I don't think so. Just because you put the name Winx on something doesn't mean it's going to be good. Let's just go back to the trailer. If you were to watch that with no volume, without knowing it was supposed to be the Winx, you wouldn't be able to tell that it's Winx. Nothing screams, yep, this is Winx. It's just Winx by name association, characters, and marketing. It could have been just a regular magic show. So why wasn't this just another magic show? I mean, I think I answered it before. I think it was for marketing and it was a cash grab. Reviving a series that, in my opinion, has been dying out, getting people nostalgic, would make them invested in a new adaptation. When I heard they were making it, I wasn't necessarily excited, but I was intrigued in how they were going to make a faithful live-action adaptation. The show isn't a good adaptation, but it isn't a bad show either. It does get boring at times and has its moments that keep you engaged here and there, but picks up towards the end. The show was predictable, relying on cringy dialogue, tropes, trying to be woke, which all felt forced. I don't like what they did with the characters. Bloom was a Mary Sue character. If you don't know, a Mary Sue character is a term used to describe a fictional character who is seen as too perfect and almost boring for lack of flaws. Originally written as an idealized version of the author in fan fiction. Bloom from the start was made to be the most powerful character, and some things in the stories revolve around her, and she's the answer we need to figure out for what's going on. In the cartoon, the other girls weren't boring or uninteresting as they were in the live action. This series felt like Bloom and the girls at times. Aisha was the best character at first for me, but that completely went away when she was nothing more than Bloom's friend. Her character really didn't have anything going for her this season. Tara was the next okay character, but she was nothing more than a punching bag or a joke to others. I don't know why sometimes when a character is plus size, that is all that character is. A plus size girl who's insecure about her body, quirky, and awkward. Though that can be a trait, what I see is that women of that size can't be confident. Fake the Winx Saga wants to be woke, but it falls short. Stella was a total mean girl, and her business towards Bloom was way too tiring for me. And this was all about a boy. girls all have to fight with each other because of a boy. Musa for me was just there. She was fine, like I said before. I don't really have anything to say. Like I said before, this felt like Bloom and the girls. The girls didn't have anything that made them stand out on their own. They barely had any solo scenes because some of it surrounded Bloom in some way, or it wasn't anything worthwhile. Musa and Tara are the only ones who had good enough solo scenes, with Tara's consisting of her insecurities in some way, or with the character Dane, and Musa's consisting with Tara's brother, Sam. All that aside, the story was fine. The whole thing with Rosalind, Asterdale, the burned ones was intriguing to me, but some twists were just confusing. The CGI was good to me as well. I have nothing bad to say about it. The actresses made it convincing when they were using their powers. I don't like how we didn't see Winx until the end, but only Bloom used it, which I thought would have been worth it since I've been waiting to see a pair of Winx this whole show, but it was just meh. Nothing spectacular, though the choice of not having it makes sense and could be more impactful in the later seasons. I did like how the school allowed boys to be fairies and girls to be specialists, also which makes sense to me, so props to them. Along with reviews for the trailers people had, they were also dressing the girls in clothing that the Winx would actually wear. And I wanted to do that too. The outfits of the girls is one identifying thing that made the Winx Club so good. So it was surprising why that wasn't replicated for the live action. The outfits could be both modern but early 2000s inspired as well. I did this quickly, so many of you might not agree, but here are my examples of what the girls could have been dressed in. Other than that, I would have made the characters more likable and realistic. Like, Bloom is just so unlikable in the beginning, even though people wanted to get to know her or help. She just accepts things as is if it helps her narrative of what she wants to believe. And another thing, we know the girls are friends, but we don't actually see that happening. They hate each other or dislike each other in the beginning, and then they like each other. And we didn't really see that transitioning of seeing everyone like each other, not just two characters. I would also get rid of the cringy dialogue. I mentioned that in the beginning. And because this is a teen drama, some of the stuff that these characters say is just disgusting. And I guess that's supposed to be justified for the reason that it's a modern, dark, edgy teen drama. But the sex talks... Well, why do we need to hear the characters talk about butt stuff? Like, what does that even bring? So the show hasn't been renewed for another season yet, so we don't have a release date, but I do believe that it's going to happen. So season 2 is going to happen whether you want it to or not. But season 1 left us with some questions that are expected to be answered in the next season. So some of the questions that I have were, what is Rosalind planning? Rosalind was the ex-headmistress at Althea who came back at the end. Are the burned ones really a threat? Who created them? Who are Bloom's real parents? What's up with Sky's dad? What's going to happen with Silva? Why did they kill Mrs. Owling? Will we see any of the original characters from the show, like Flora, Techna, Roxy, literally any of the other specialist boys, any of the villains? Are any of the other fairies going to be princesses besides Stella, like some of them are in the original? Are Riven, Dane, and Beatrix supposed to be this show's version of Trix? There are more questions that I have, but I'll leave it at this for now. I definitely want to hear what you guys have as questions for season 2 or just for the show in general that I didn't mention, or if you guys have some explanations for these questions that I have, I would really like to hear it. All right, that is it. That is all I have to say about the show. I definitely, like I said, want to hear what you guys think about the show. Let me know down in the comments whether you like the show, if you're going to watch season 2. I like to hear it all. Don't forget to suggest other topics for us to talk about. We are all ears. Be safe, and I'll see you guys another time. This is me, Jen, signing out. See you soon.